All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, I guess welcome to why is my ad block not working here? Am I not allowed to have ad block? Hold on, we need to make sure we got ad block going. It is working. It's just not showing, I guess. Okay, whatever, I guess. Whatever. Anyways, welcome to my 2023 movie roundup, because I don't have anybody to talk about movies with. So, these are all the movies right here I see in 2023. There's a lot of movies I didn't get to see. I didn't get to see Poor Things. I didn't get to see... There's a handful... Expendable 4. Yeah, I heard that was dog shit anyways, but still, Expendable 4. Let's see here. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is there's some movies you're not going to see on this tier list even if it was a hot topic. But yeah, anyways, I will say now some of these tiers I made just for a specific movie or two. So and I'll explain why. Anyways, all right. I'm gonna start with the camel elephant in the room. I need to get this out of the way for an important reason. Shazam 2. Not only is it the worst movie I've seen all year, not only is it one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen, but it's unironically one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It is unbearably bad. Like, dialogue's terrible, contrivances are really bad, and just the overall plot was just terrible. Like, it's just so bad. None of the characters were likable, and there was like a lot of them. None of them were really fleshed out either. And did they really grow and develop by the end? No, like even the basic storytelling, right, was awful. The set pieces, action sequences, nothing special either. Dialogue, terrible. Character writing, terrible. Everything's terrible. And I don't know. I just, that's about it. And like, considering how bad this movie was, right? It really tempered expectations for like a lot of other movies. I think this should have been like as far as it goes on the tier list, but no, because Shazam is so bad. I think a lot of movies should have ended up in stinky, but like it bumped literally every movie up a tier. It creates another tier at the bottom while it bumps every other movie up by one tier or something like that, right? Or all the bad movies up by one tier. That's how bad it was. Like, I think it tempered my expectations so badly that, yeah, I was just making excuses for bad movies. That's it. I will say, however, next movie, this is actually important too. Ant-Man, Quantumania. Fucking terrible. I hate this movie too. Upon second rewatch, or on a rewatch, it wasn't as bad as I remember, but like a lot of it was just first of all, the first half was just boring, right? Like every character kind of sucks as well, right? You don't really root for almost any of the characters other than, I guess, Ant-Man himself, I guess. Yeah, excuse me, but yeah, no. One of the big issues with Quantumania was just the mismanagement of Kang, right? Kang the Conqueror. Like, this presentation was just awful, man. Like, this is supposed to be the next big bad in the MCU. Well, I mean, now that Jonathan Major's guilty, we don't know what's going to happen to Kang anymore. But as I was saying, though, no, it's not a good movie. Like, just a huge mismanagement and misunderstanding of the character, right? And I don't even know the character in the comic book, right? I've given up on comics, but what I'm saying is I understand that he is supposed to be presented as the next biggest threat, the biggest threat in the known multiverse. He's mega Thanos, and they just downplayed him so bad, and expect us to feel, and expect the audience to look at him as that way. I'm just like, nah, bro. Like, plus the whole plot is just contrived as well, right? Like, oh my god, the biggest known threat in the universe is in the quantum realm, and the mother doesn't want to tell anybody. I mean, like, come on. Like, I mean, I get it, you're traumatized, PTSD, whatever, right? But like, you don't have to talk about your experience. You just should have said something else, right? There's just something really bad there that should be left alone. And it could, I don't know, fucking know, but they got to have a movie somehow, right? So this movie, the movie in itself is a big contrivance in itself, right? So, yeah, me and my friend, we went to see it. Obviously, we had to see this first, right? We had to go. It was so bad. We had to go see Puss in Boots the next day, and that was actually a good movie to wash this piece of shit out. But these are 2023 entries, so yeah. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, we really thought it couldn't get any bad. We really went to Shazam 2 thinking it can't be as bad as Ant-Man. But no, that's that's not. Yeah, little boy, were there news for us. Anyways, where do we continue? Yeah, let's just keep doing down the superhero train, right? Guardians of the Galaxy, good as fuck. That's all I gotta say. It's really freaking good. It's literally the best superhero movie all year. Granted, the competition wasn't exactly stiff, but Guardians, good as fuck. What else? Superhero. It's Marvel. The Marvels. It exists. Like, it's really not that bad. It's definitely overhated, 100%. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not. There's really nothing special about it either. It's not that good either. But it's really not that as bad as people say it is. So, but I will say I was on Threads, right? I know, right? Who the fuck uses Threads? I was on Threads watching people argue over this movie. Like, it's just, you're either on one side or you're on the other. It is ridiculous. Like, for some reason, there's just no people down the middle for some reason. Like, whatever. But seriously, movie really isn't as bad as people say it is. It's not good either, but it's not as bad as people say it is. Superhero. Move next. Oh, oof. Oh no. I didn't like Spider-Verse that much. It's gonna go here. And my biggest fucking gripe is I do not like Miles Morales in this. Oh, hold on. Let me be more specific. I don't like this interpretation of Miles Morales. He's just really fucking obnoxious. Really fucking dumb. I do not like him. But he's only 15. I don't give a fuck. This is a movie. This is a movie. You could change that. But you can make him a likable 15-year-old. And he just wasn't. He wasn't. Well, granted, what 15-year-old is likable, right? But just no, I just do not like Miles Morales. The crazy part is the whole structure of the story was pretty dang good. It was pretty good. Miles Morales, I just can't get past him. I like Gwen Stacy's arc way better. Way better. Am I gonna watch Beyond the Spider-Verse? Of course I am, right? Obviously, because I might kind of have to, right? Because it feels like you have to, right? The way everything sets up. But yeah, that's about it. Animation is top notch though, but like, it's crazy. It really should just be here or here, right? But because of Miles Morales, I hate him so much. I put him here. I like Insomniac's Miles Morales way better. Way better. Fuck this guy. Go back to school, dude. Next. Blue Beetle. I'm between these two. Like, I'm not really a Blue Beetle fan. I mean, maybe if I was more of a Blue Beetle fan and I actually gave a shit, I'd put it up here. But I don't. So like, it's down here. Because this movie it played things very safe, right? It was just really generic. It felt very safe. So that's why it should. So I guess technically it should be here, but at the same time, with what I had is. I'll put it there. Should have been better. It's not bad. It's really not that bad. It's kind of boring though, I'll say that. But it's because it's just really safe and generic, right? So, but I guess it doesn't matter now with the reboot of the whole thing. The whole DCEU being rebooted with James Gunn and everything. So whatever, I guess. Superhero movies. Right. Is that all of it? I know that's not all of it. No, 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 no. No, that's not it. Oh, Aquaman. Well, let's do Flash first. It exists. It just exists. I really don't think it's as bad as people say it is either. I mean, don't get me wrong, the CGI was like god awful, right? But like, you know, it's solid, I guess. I don't know. Like, I didn't notice anything atrociously wrong with it. I mean, other than a couple of creative decisions, like using CGI of a deceased actor that was that got shat on for being Superman because of the time period it was in. That's pretty messed up. What else? Aquaman. I think this is it. This should be it, right? It exists. Also, same thing. I do think it's the best DCU project all year. And just by default, like it's just whatever. It's just whatever. I don't care. Actually, I'm not gonna say it should have been better because like it was exactly as it needed to be. So yeah, it exists. Anyways, all right, let's just go for an order now. Anyways, Air. I have a thing for biopics. I don't know why. I just enjoy it. It's definitely one of those things you would see in history class when your teacher doesn't have a lesson plan, so they just put on a movie and give you like an arbitrary worksheet that goes with it, just so you know they have something to grade, quote unquote. Feel good. That's it. Really simple movie. Wasn't really big. Nothing. Doesn't do anything crazy, right? It's just whatever. It exists. Resident Evil Death Island. Better than existed. It's like with Resident Evil, right? Like, a lot of their animations are dog shit. There's just no way around it. I saw Vendetta. That was awful. Oh my god, that's awful. I saw Infinite Darkness. Also pretty damn bad. And it makes me not want to watch any of the other animated movies, right? Plus I hear they're also pretty dog shit. But now Infinite Darkness specifically. Let's go back to Infinite Darkness, the Netflix special, real quick. It was crazy because, you know, this was when Resident Evil was making its comeback, right? Like, Resident Evil 7 saved the franchise. The hype was at an all-time high with Resident Evil Village coming out. And then Death Island was coming out as well alongside it, right? Oh, and we also had like Resident Evil 2 Remake at the same time, around this time as well. So yeah, Infinite Darkness, super excited for it. Dog shit. I had so many problems. So basically I was expecting the same thing with Death Island, right? Still wasn't very good, I don't think, right? Because, like, you know, some of the action sequences was really kind of dumb. Oh, this is also supposed to be like the Avengers movie or the Avengers event for Resident Evil, right? Because you have Jill and Leon are meeting face to face for the first time on screen, and Jill's meeting Claire for the first time as well. What was it? Rebecca Chambers as well is also like on screen with all of them as well. So it's like, oh, it's a really big deal. But, it's whatever. I mean, it was an honest attempt, though. It was a legitimate attempt. So it's better than expected. Holdovers. I like this movie. I like this movie. Feel good. Also, these two, the positioning in these two for just dumb fun and feel good are like interchangeable. They're interchangeable. Anyways, what did I say? Holdovers, it is a 2023 movie, but it looks like it was made in like the 80s. And I like that. I liked it. I like it, you know? That's it. I like it. There's nothing really much to it. I guess this is also, in a way, these two are interchangeable as well, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I appreciate the artistic style of going back to the 80s. Kind of weird though, because like it kind of had like the visual was like in the 80s, but like the audio design was like kind of like mid 2000s. So like it's a little ahead of its time, so it's a little weird. Or so I thought, anyways. I thought it was like I thought the audio quality didn't match the visual quality, but it's fine. It's fine. Other than that, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still kind of a slow burn, but like I like it. I still like it. Oh, Asteroid City. Yeah. Should have been better. It's Wes Anderson, right? It's Wes Anderson. It's kind of what you expect from Wes Anderson. Oh. Now, right now, I should just got really clogged up all of a sudden for some reason. But, yeah, it has like a very unique visual style, which I really like. I really liked it. Plus, just the tone, general tone and feel of the movie, right? General tone, the general atmosphere of the movie was very interesting. I really like it, and the visual style has a lot to do with it. But the writing side of things, just what the fuck did I just watch, bro? Like I didn't understand what was, I don't know. I don't know. Like I think this movie was just pushed out just for its visuals. Like, oh, but other than that, it's whatever, bro. Who cares? Maybe 5 years from now, you're gonna see like video essays popping up everywhere saying how Asteroid City was actually a genius movie, or was actually a masterpiece, whatever. Maybe I don't know. Maybe someone will crack the code 5 years from now. But as it stands right now, with only by the way, most of these movies I only seen once. Most of them. I mean, other than Ant-Man, like it's specified, I saw it twice. But yeah, Asteroid City. Upon one viewing, I don't know what I saw, bro. I don't know what the fuck I saw. Anyways. Actually, does Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles count as a superhero? I don't know. Well, anyways, comic book for sure. Comic book for sure. But superhero, necessarily, I don't know. But, anyways, I was going to put it there. Better than expected. Actually, it could be interchangeable with these two right here. Feel good. Better than expected. Feel good. Well, I wasn't expecting it to be bad. So I guess this feel good, yeah. Alright, cool. Big George Foreman. Okay, this is actually kind of personal, right? Let's just say right now, I really like Creed 3. I'm not going to say where it ranks yet. And I just love the Rocky franchise in general. Plus, for context, Big George Foreman becoming a pastor or a preacher in general. In case you don't know that story. My dad was also a preacher, so put two together, you'd think I'd be like very biased with this movie, but I'm just gonna have to say right here, I really like biopics, but this just didn't do it for me. I mean, I enjoyed it to an extent, but like, nah. It's okay, so it's in between better than expected and should have been better. Should have been, could have been better. Somewhere between there. Next movie. Stinky. Five Nights at Freddy's. Stinky. This fucking movie sucks. I fucking hate it. It's basically The Black Phone. So in case you haven't seen, apparently this movie essay is talking about how The Black Phone was like a genius, masterpiece or whatever, right? 100% disagree. And this movie kind of shed a lot of elements from that movie, and I did not like that. Now, okay, and then hold on, I need a drink. I don't give a fuck. This isn't getting edited out. Oh, yeah. Yeah. People were saying, it followed very closely to the source material. I don't give a fuck. Yes, the source material sucks then. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's competent, right? The movie's competent as is, but like, no, I just ain't feeling it, man. A lot of contrivances. It's just really dumb, bad writing, bad decision making. The characters, it's whatever. Animatronics look great though. But other than that, I don't care. Iron Claw, banger. Love this movie. So the success criteria for this movie was very simple, right? Make the family dynamic believable, and then everything else will come along. And that's exactly what this movie did. It was really good. Next. Evil Dead Rise. Same thing with Big George Foreman, right? It should have been between these two, right? Somewhere between here. Yeah, I just put it here. I put it here. Better than expected. So this is my first Evil Dead movie. I'll admit this is my first Evil Dead movie. Didn't know what to expect. Better than expected. Hence, better than expected. But yeah, no. From what I can tell, this franchise kind of been dead for a while, right? Like, they had Ash Evil versus the Evil Dead not too long ago that ran for a little bit. I actually had to write like a preview for it in my school newspaper back when I was in high school. How old was I? I was in sophomore year? 10th grade? I was 15 to 16 years. How old am I now? 24? Oh my god, I'm 24. What the fuck? Anyways, but yeah, fucking hella gory though. But same problem though. Lots of contrivances. I mean, sure, that's like a trademark of the franchise, right? But whatever, I don't care. It's still a criticism. But yeah, I come to realize a lot of these movies are like in between tears. I think I did a bad job making the tears then. Whatever. But yeah, no. What was I saying? Evil Dead Rise. It's all right. It's all right. Definitely really gory. If that's something that turns you off, that's something you should definitely know about. I generally can't handle gore movies, so yeah, this was a little too much for me. But like judging the movie for what it is, right? I have to be fair. Okay, some of these judgment is gonna be fair. I'm gonna have to say it right now. But yeah, solid. I like Evil Dead Rise. It was fun. Would I watch it again? Probably not. Barbie. Right here. It was pretty damn good. I mean, more realistically, I guess this as well. Man, I did not do a good job of making this tier list, huh? I did not do a good job of labeling these tiers. Holy shit. But yeah. But yeah, it's just really fun. I actually went on a small tirade on my Instagram talking about Margot Robbie as an actress and like how, you know, they snubbed her. Is snubbing and just simply not nominated a thing? Same thing? I don't know. But yeah, no, I was just saying, you know, yeah, Margot Robbie is freaking fantastic as Barbie. And I know the reward of leading actress or whatever means the specific role, like the specific role they played in a specific movie. I understand that. But I don't know, I can't get, you know, the image of Margot Robbie as a whole, as an actor as a whole out of my head, right? So basically my consensus was, you know, I'm okay with Margot Robbie as Barbie not being, you know, nominated. But I'm also okay if she was to be nominated, right? Because she really did a good job as typical Barbie. But the thing with Margot Robbie is, right, like she's definitely a typecast actress, right? She's damn good at it though. Like damn good at it. But the diversity and character she portrays, it's lacking. It's 100% lacking. But like, cause like for example, right? So if I were to watch, okay, let's say you put the Suicide Squad on TV, right? And I close my eyes and I'm hearing Harley Quinn's dialogue, but you tell me we're actually watching Barbie, I'd believe you, bro. I'd 100% believe you. Or her character in Babylon. I don't know if y'all ever seen Babylon. Pretty underrated. It doesn't seem to get talked about a lot, other than for its visuals. But like her character in Babylon, right? If I close my eyes, hear a dialogue from Babylon, and you tell me, oh, this is the Suicide Squad, or this is Barbie, I'd also believe you as well. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, she didn't really have much dialogue in that movie, but just her cadence in that movie, right? Just watching her cadence and the way in demeanor, it's just very, you know. It's very Margot Robbie. It's a very Margot Robbie trademark. Don't get me wrong, I like Margot Robbie. She's a very charismatic actress. Her screen presence is definitely felt for the most part. But I think her range. Oh, well, I guess the range in her archetype, yes, is very wide, but like, you know, as diversity in character types, architectures, what? Well, character archetypes. She's not very diverse. I haven't seen very, diverse characters for Margot Robbie. But other than that, though, Barbie is really freaking good. Margot Robbie. This movie was stereotypical. Barbie was written with Margot Robbie in mind, 1000%. It's the same thing as Matt Reeves writing Batman or The Batman with Robert Pattinson in mind. Same thing. Ken, being portrayed by Ryan Gosling, also super freaking good. But apparently the supporting actress got nominated for best supporting actress. I actually don't agree with that. She was pretty mid. She just existed. I mean, she got the plot moving along, but like other than that, I whatever. Anyways, Cocaine Bear. Just dumb fun. It's actually technically down here in terms of actual quality, right? But like just the content, what the content was, really saves this movie. Like you're gonna get what you're looking for when you go into this movie, and that's it. Oh, the creator. I have a hard on for this movie, but I kind of want to skip it for now. I'll talk about it towards the end. I'm gonna skip it. Oppenheimer. Good AF, bro. Good AF. Like I said, I love me some biopics for some reason, and it's Christopher Nolan. Like this movie has Christopher Nolan's DNA all over it. Okay, but yeah, no, it's just visually good. Very fucking, it's just good, bro. Every character, every performer did a really good job, except for Robert Downey Jr. Well, I'll come back to Robert Downey Jr. in a second. Hot take, blah 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 blah, whatever. But yeah, it's just really good. I think my main complaint about it, why it's here instead of here, is that it's just too long. It's just too long, man. Even though it's technically like 10 minutes shorter than The Batman, but it felt longer than The Batman. I sat through The Batman 3 times in theaters. And I was sitting through this once. I was like, oh, bro, please just end already. I didn't have to pee either. I just wanted to end. But no, overall, it's a good movie, though. Ugh. My nose decided to clog up as soon as we started talking. Silent Night. John Woo movie. Okay, I'm gonna put it right here, right now. Could have been, should have been better. Could have been, should have been better. The reason is just the action sequence is really lacking, right? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, this movie has a lot good going for it, right? But like the visuals is also very just generic, right? But I did put this in my letterbox list for best visual movie of 2023, I think. Let me check. It's made it on my underwhelming films of 2023. Visually satisfying. Yeah. So the reason it's visually satisfying, right, is because, it's the fact there's like only like 2-3 spoken words the entire movie. But basically this movie is the epitome of visual storytelling, right? It's literally, that's exactly what it is, right? If I were teaching a film class, I would show them this movie. And we're talking about the subject of visual storytelling. I'll show them this movie. Because, like, you could piece a story together perfectly fine just by, watching the way events goes down, Visual storytelling. Show, don't tell. That's basically what it was. And you could really tell what people were saying with just facial expressions. That's what made it good. Well, what made it should have been better? Well, first of all, the fact that it's a John Woo movie, I was expecting a lot, man. In terms of, like, action sequences. But it's just basically stuff that you already seen in John Wick, but done better. That's it. That's all it was. It wasn't satisfying. It's just whatever. The action sequences, which is what the movie was selling on, right? Could have been better, and that was like actually the biggest thing that drags this movie down. I liked everything else, but the action sequence and what this movie was supposed to give you No. Just no. Just no. Magic Mike. It exists. Better than Shazam 2. No fucking question about it. Funny story. I went to see this with a couple of my coworkers. One of them is very, very sheltered. I wouldn't say very wholesome. But any sexual content of any kind makes him feel uncomfortable. And then you have Channing Tatum. And then he saw one shirtless guy do one hip thrust. And then he lost it. He literally left the theater. He literally left the movie. He said he couldn't handle it anymore. Oh, God. But yeah, no. The funny part was right after he left, the movie got really tamed. The main issue of the movie is like just the dance performances weren't that interesting. I mean, some of them were cool, yeah, but like whatever. And the overall story was also just really generic, nothing special. It's competent. It's a competent movie. That's why hence it just exists. But other than that, whatever. Sisu. I think this is actually technically a 2022 movie, but like it didn't get a Western release till earlier this year. But yeah, I will put it. What I'm saying is, I guess I'm gonna treat it as a 2023 release because America #1, apparently. Either here or here, right? Because I just wasn't satisfied with the action sequences, but visually, it was really good. I really liked it visually, right? Like I'm gonna put it there. Ups, and then speaking of John Wick, right? Okay, I'm gonna put it right here. A lot of people probably expect me either here or here, but no, it's just here. And I will say, at the very least, this movie, justifies its existence, right? Because I saw John Wick. John Wick Chapter 3 just wasn't it, right? Like, I don't even fuck with people saying, "Oh, you only watched John Wick for the action, huh?" But if the story is still a component of it, I'm still gonna criticize it. Yes, I agree. You only watch John Wick movies for the action sequences. But I'm a writer. The writing just wasn't it, bro. I mean, at least John Wick 3 was. John Wick 3, the writing wasn't it. It did not justify that sequel bait at the very end. Realistically, John Wick should have ended there. John Wick 3 should have ended there. This movie shouldn't have existed, period. But it does justify its existence. Well, the action sequences felt a lot tighter. I did notice a few issues here when Keanu Reeves was rolling down the steps. There's at one point you could literally see him like reach forward towards the edge to roll off. The point is a little sloppy in the choreography. The other one I noticed was after, this is all in the final act, by the way. Another part was, the final act, the movie kind of just falls apart in the final act. But he got tossed into the car for like the 5th time. But I'm going to get into the point about that later in a second. But basically, he gets thrown into a car, and then the camera zooms out. The guy that's beating him up, right? Just standing still. Just standing still. And he was literally, you could just frozen still, right? Just calm, relaxed, still. And he literally waited for John Wick to get back up before he starts pummeling him again. I'm like, are you fucking serious? And then another issue this movie, one of the main other big issues this movie has, is redundancy. Some of the scenes, some of the action sequences towards the final act felt very redundant. Like, I just got jaded at that point. Maybe I'm just getting old. But still, I just stopped caring this the third act. Like, it's just whatever. Like, especially with like the over the head, scene with the dragon breath shotgun. That scene lasted way too fucking long. That sequence lasted way too long. But no. But still a very solid movie nonetheless. Like, I mean, you still get what you expect from a John Wick movie, right? Please just finish the movie here. Don't. And like, you can make not anthology movies, like spin-offs, but like no more mainline John Wick films. All right. apparently John Wick 5's already been confirmed, and Keanu Reeves already confirmed to come back. I read one article, 2 articles, 3, maybe 3, saying that. I don't know if it's actually true or not. But I also read that Keanu doesn't want to come back with John Wick 5. Please just leave it here. Just leave it here. You have an established world. Actually, they have a pretty solid established world as well that actually wants, like you could feel there's a bigger world, a bigger lore to the John Wick verse, right? There's a lot of potential they could work with in that universe. There's a lot of ideas they could explore. Just make spin-offs, right? Especially like Ballerina that's coming out. I think it's coming out this year. 2024? I think it's coming out this year. Yeah. Ballerina is coming out this year. Like that. Make a spin-off. Or The Continental, right? Another spin-off. But yeah. John Wick 4, just dumb fun. Like, right? It really could have been here. It really could have been. But it really scooched the pooch in the final act. Covenant. Feel good. Feel good. So, oh my God, Godzilla -1. We'll come back to that in a second. So this isn't necessarily a biopic, but it does have a lot of biopic feels to it. But also like a lot of generic, modern day military Iraq URA vibes as well. But this really does lean more on the storytelling, the relationship, right, of your characters, and it works. It establishes it pretty well. Technically, some components does definitely belong here, but I guess I'm pretty satisfied with what we got, right? Also, Jake Gyllenhaal really wasn't that good in this movie. I don't give a fuck what people say. He's really not that good. Like there's just an emptiness or like in his cadence here and there. Like he just wasn't pushing it, right? Even in the scenes where he was like super angry, I'm like, he's holding back a little bit. No. Yeah, his performance really did feel subdued, right? A lot of people were praising it. I'm like, nah, it's pretty subdued. I've seen Jake Gyllenhaal a lot more, aggressive than this. He was more aggressive in Ambulance than this. Ambulance was also really dumb fun. If Ambulance came out here, it'll be right here. Anyways, Godzilla -1. Good as fuck. I mean, there's not a lot I could say about this movie that hasn't already been said, so I'll say this instead. Because I noticed it's a flaw in the movie that nobody seems to want to point out. But this movie has kind of struggles in the particle effects side of things and the texturing as well. If you look very closely, it definitely looks a little wonky, definitely. And there's also some moments of contrivances. There's also spoilers. There's definitely some contrived moments in the movie, and it's just dumb. The very ending was unnecessary. So see when Godzilla's rampaging through the fucking I forgot the name of the city. The city. Let's just say the city. I forgot what it's called. It starts with a G. From what I remember. When he just rampaging through the city, and how the chick and the main character dude, whatever, were like together, whatever. And then like Godzilla just blasted a huge debris through a wave or whatever. And then she just pushes him into the alleyway to get him out. Why not just tackle him into it so that way you're both out and just whatever. Whatever. But what they want you to feel in the movie, did feel good. It works, I guess. It added urgency to the movie nonetheless, right? If you suspend your disbelief for a second, right, that, she could have saved herself and him. But suspending his disbelief for a second, it did add that scene did add a lot of urgency to the movie, right? It really added to the rivalry between your main lead and Godzilla, and like I said, adds urgency to the final scene and everything. It puts a bigger chip on the shoulder, and the human characters were just really good. The human characters were unironically the star of the movie. It's more of a war drama that just happens to have Godzilla. It's just like how the Batman, right, for example, is actually a crime mystery thriller, but it just it's like so. The Batman is not really a superhero movie, right? It's more of like a crime mystery thriller that just happens to have Batman in it. This is a war drama that just happens to have Godzilla in it. That's what this movie felt like, and Godzilla was also just more of like a, an allegory for a physical manifested allegory for the character's PTSD and war trauma, right? That added a bigger chip to his shoulder. And yeah, it's just really good. It's just really good. Likeable human characters in a Godzilla movie. Like, what the fuck? Like, how did that happen? Champions. Feel good. That's it. Just feel good. Oh, Indiana Jones. Stinky. I went to see this with my lifelong youth pastor and his family. Everybody hated it. Virtually everybody did not like this movie. It's just really boring. It's just really boring and very unexciting, right? Like the action sequences sucks. I guess the whole urgency around the plot in general is also just kind of pretty lame. But yeah, I don't know, man. It just wasn't a very good movie. Equalizer 3. So, Equalizer 3, I get it. I know what it was trying to do. This is my first Equalizer movie in general, too, so it's hard to judge as well. Okay, so here's my impression, right? The first two Equalizer movies gave me the John Wick impression, right? Just high octane, dumb action. Equalizer 3 was kind of like the quote unquote more mature narrative, quote unquote. It wants to mellow things out a little bit. It's more of like a drama commentary. That's what I tried to do, right? But it was really boring. It was a slow burn. I like what I was trying. Okay, so yeah. I think it belongs here. I think that's a good place to put it. Could have been better. I liked it. I like what I was trying to do, but it kind of falls flat a little bit. Decent payoff though, I guess. I was somewhat satisfied with the payoff. I was okay with it. Mario movie. Better than expected. I mean, just any movie adaptation, right? Of a video game. There's always that stigma saying, video game movies sucks. But recently, kind of an upward trend where they're just getting better. I still wouldn't say they're good. I still wouldn't say they're good just yet. I mean, I guess The Last of Us TV show adaptation, from what I heard, was good. I haven't seen it though. I don't intend to. Yeah. Shit. What was it? But yeah, Mario movie. Just was better than expected. You can make an argument that it wasn't feel good. To be honest, feel good and better than expected could be same category almost. Because I definitely didn't feel good watching Resident Evil. Better than expected, but it wasn't feel good. Same thing with the Evil Dead Rise. Actually, yeah. Let's keep it separate. But yeah, this movie belongs somewhere in the middle over here. Boy and the Heron. Oh, man. I need to talk about Oppenheimer again. It was more specifically about Robert Downey Jr. But I'll come back to that in a second. Let's get back to Boy and the Heron. So this was the first time after seeing the cast getting announced, the English dub cast. I was like, wow! For the first time, I actually want to see the English dub for a Studio Ghibli movie. But I still, yeah, no, I did see it I did see the English dub first. But yeah, I was kind of let down by the performance. It felt very mellowed out. Like people just did what they needed to do, and that's it. Like it felt very bare minimum. But overall, the movie as a whole, right? I saw it twice, both Japanese and English. Apparently, the Japanese dub also had an all-star cast. Could have been better. I just don't know what the fuck did I just watch. Like, I'm so confused, bro. But yeah. Um, that's all I can say. I just don't know how to feel about the movie, man. Like, I just don't know what I just watched. But yeah, back to Oppenheimer, and specifically Robert Downey Jr. People are saying he did an amazing job. To be honest, all I saw was just Tony Stark. That's it. The same cadence, same demeanor, same everything about Tony Stark, right? Maybe like toned down a bit, but that's about it. Like, he really didn't feel like a different character, Robert Downey Jr. A lot of people said he did amazing, but I disagree, man. It just felt like Robert Downey Jr. being Robert Downey Jr. again, or just a mellowed down version of him. That's it. I don't care. Mission Impossible. Dumb fun. Whatever. At the time, it was one of the better movies I've seen all year, but other than that, it's now that, I've seen more movies, it goes here. But yeah, just dumb fun. I didn't really care. Little Mermaid, better than expected. It's really not that bad. So I never grew up with the original Little Mermaid, so that's what I'm judging it based off of. But other than that, it's really not that bad. I mean, it's whatever. I feel like the performance were most people's performances were lacking. We're missing something, right? It was missing something. But other than that, it's really not that bad. I don't give a fuck what people say. Oh, mermaids shouldn't be black, blah, 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 whatever. I don't care. I can sympathize why people who grew up with it feel this way, but at the same time, it's like, kind of whatever. Anyways, Dungeons and Dragons. Ooh. Dungeons and Dragon fans are not gonna like me for this. I mean, okay. There were creative set pieces. I'll give it that, right? But I guess overall, fun cast of characters. I enjoyed the cast of characters. I thought they were cool. But other than that, I just didn't really care. I remember me and all my coworkers went to see this, or more than half my coworkers, and most of them were like D&D nerds, right? We walked out and they're like, it's all right. And I was telling myself, the only reason I feel about it is probably because I don't know much about D&D. But they're all like, it's kind of whatever. And even if I were to watch this as a movie, I think it's kind of too. It's whatever. It's whatever, like story's competent, but like storytelling's competent. It's fun, but it's just missing that little something. I guess for me, it's between these two actually, realistically, but I'm definitely leaning more towards here. Because I did kind of expect it to be decent, so whatever. Let's move along. I do want to talk about this a lot, though. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Technically, I was actually supposed to watch this with my cousins, but I had tickets to an early premiere, so I went to see. Of course, if I'm going to see an early premiere, I'm going to go to the early premiere, right? I also went to the early premiere for Creed 3, but we'll come back to. There's kind of a story behind that, but yeah. Rise of the Beast. Oh, I was so disappointed in this movie. It's not that bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not that good either. But there's some things to enjoy about it. Unlike these movies down here, there's still something to enjoy. So it keeps it from being out of this tier. But like, where to begin, man? Where to begin? Where to begin? Like, I know a lot of Transformer fans were raving about this movie, and I'm happy for them, right? I'm glad they enjoyed it. But me personally, right? As a huge Transformers fan I wanted more. It just wasn't it. This movie felt very messy, but also missing a lot of content or substance at the same time. Like, there's a lot going on, but it's also missing a lot of things. Like, the pacing... First of all, dialogue transitions felt awkward. It felt fucking awkward. But besides, that's actually not even the biggest issue. Yeah, it just feels, the pacing feels weird. There's just too many characters that you need to get along, so they just weren't fleshed out. Especially what's it called? The good animals, the good beasts, the Autobot beasts. The Maximals, not fleshed out at all, not enough screen time. It's literally they kind of suffer the same issues that the Dinobots did in Age of Extinction, right? Like they're literally there for marketing. That's what it felt like. We didn't get enough of them. But some of the plot, the overall plot felt very choppy as well, right? Like just whatever. There's like an hour video essay on this movie. I saw and I watched it. That was a good essay. You should watch it if I can find it, or if I remember to link it, I'll link it. But I probably won't. So y'all just have to find it yourselves. It did a really good job breaking down this movie, and I agree with it. Right, like. But my overall consensus and conclusion for the movie is I do like it. I do like it. It's a right step in the right direction, but it's crawling in the right direction. That's what it is. It's crawling. It's limping or crawling. Like, because it's just messy. It's a messy movie. Could have been better. There's also just the action sequences were also the action sequence, which is probably because of Michael Bay, right? It's kind of a mainstay for live action, Transformer movies nowadays. But they just weren't it, man. The special effects were kind of also pretty choppy and sloppy at times, right? And just no, whatever. Past Lives, feel good. Definitely a feel good movie. A lot of Asian Americans were raving about this movie. I liked it. Definitely feel good, right? There's a lot of times I just like rip. I was actually biting my nails. Certain points in the movie, I was like biting my nails, like, bro, what the fuck? And I wasn't really on the edge of the seat, but I was definitely on edge. It did make me feel things, right? It did give me something to think about in my own personal life, right? Characters were relatable. That's basically what it is saying, and I liked it. It's not to the point where it's good as fuck, Joyride. Stinky. So I say this in the perspective of an Asian American, right? And representation, I don't care. I don't care about representation. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. I'm not gonna cry about it. But for some reason, right? Asian American influencers, you had Anna Akana, AJ Raphael, or Wong Fu. I think they're all just paid to say something like that, right? All talking, oh yeah, this is a good movie. We need to go support it. First of all, same thing with Crazy Rich Asians. No, we do not need to support this, especially if it's not that good. Joyride is not that good. It's just literally TikTok humor in a movie form. That's all it is. I will give it credit that it did put in like a genuine effort of of the overarching theme of identity crisis and finding your identity and finding your place and appreciating the people you do have, right? It did a very honest attempt at that. It just wasn't fleshed out enough. It just didn't flesh it out enough. It was kind of just the theme was just brought up and then it just ended. So but yeah, no, some of the main complaint I had was saying, especially Wong Fu and Anna Akana, right? Well, I don't know. Anna Akana shared a Instagram post that felt like it was related to Joyride. I don't know if it's actually related to Joyride or not. But basically, what the post was saying, and the post was saying kind of went along in line with what Wong Fu was saying when they're pushing this movie. Asian American representation could be explicit, was what they're saying. It is time for us to be a little explicit. My question is, when were we not allowed to be explicit? Why do we need to have this clean image, right? I hate that fucking narrative. It does not need to exist. But Joyride, the movie was alright. Like, if you like TikTok humor, if you like, hacky slapstick humor, you'll like this. I mean, don't get me wrong. It at least got a couple cracks out of me, right? I'm like, oh, Shazam 2. But, bro. No, it's all right. There's another movie on the list. Actually, 2 other movies that does Asian representation better than this fucking movie does. Oh, this one right here does it better than this movie too. This is because this is actually a good movie. Fuck Joyride. I don't know why Asian influencers want to push the shittiest fucking movies to represent us. I don't know why they did Crazy Rich Asians. Crazy Rich Asians I thought was actually pretty okay. It's not that bad, but it definitely was not as good as everybody is saying it is. 1,000%, 1,000% no. Same thing with Joyride, except worse. Joyride's way fucking worse. Oh my god. Plus the overall story just missing substance as well. Radical. Radical, just like Champions, are the type of films I want to make. Radical. I liked it. It's feel good. It feels really, really good. Man. Oh, I really like this movie. I mean, so let's pretend this. Let's switch these tiers up a little bit, right? Actually, this feels old. This looks like a lot better tier list than yeah. Actually, I think it's more appropriate if I could just put it down here. Actually, wait, hold on. Oh no, I messed it up. Dumb fun, better than expected. Actually, yeah. I feel like Feel Good deserves to be on top of just Dumb Fun. So yeah. I like Radical better than John Wick 4. What's up? I like Air. I like fucking Air better than John. Okay. Yeah, Radical. It's just a feel good movie, you know. I liked it. I enjoyed it. That's the thing with most of these feel good movies, right? I don't really need to explain myself very much. It just feels good. If I have thoughts, I'll talk about it, right? But like, if you follow my letterbox, I should have most of these movies. Yeah. I should have a commentary on all of these, except for Shazam 2. All of these movies. And you could, if you follow my letterbox, if I remember to link it in the description, you will get a more in-depth analysis and breakdown on each movie. But story time for early premiere story. Yeah, actually no, I already told this early premiere story for Transformers. Radical just felt good. I liked Radical. I enjoyed it. Elemental. I liked Elemental better than Spider-Verse. Feel good, motherfucker. And this is the other Asian representation movie I was talking about that does Asian representation better than, you know, Joyride. I mean, like I said, I don't care for representation. I can understand why it's important to people. But me personally, my representation does not stop at skin color. But allegorical writing, I'm all for it. And that's what this was. And it turns out there's a lot of Korean allegories. And, you know, I've been mostly surrounded by Korean culture my whole life. Well, not my whole... No. Oh, let me completely retract that statement. I've been heavily surrounded and influenced by Korean culture in my adult life. There we go. Better. That's much better phrased. So I was like, oh, I was picking up on a lot of traits. I was feeling this movie, dude. And there was like no actual Korean people in this movie. Why? Because, you know, the fire people in this movie are allegories of Korean people. And that's because, and I pick it up because it's good writing. It's just, well, I won't say it's because good writing. Show don't tell is what I'm saying, right? I don't need to be reminded that, oh, I'm Asian, like every 2 fucking seconds, right? They just exist. Fucking Joyride. I hate Joyride. I hate fucking Joyride. Oh, Creed 3. Banger. Oh, hold on. So my heart says here. My heart says here. But my brain goes here. But I'm going to listen to, for once, I'm going to listen to my heart. I'll put it here. Creed 3 does have a lot of problems. It does, right? Awkward dialogue transitioning. Actually, that's about it. It's a lot of awkward dialogues. Awkward dialogues and awkward dialogue transitions. But it's good. It's still good. The story was very competent. It had a lot of substance to it. Or it has good substance to it. There was an actual character journey. The action sequence was also pretty cool. There's some questionable narrative decisions. Spoilers. Um, so I guess the narrative presentation doesn't match up with the visual presentation. So what I mean by that is that the fact that Damian Anderson has to cheat to beat up Chavez when it's already very believable that visually believable that he doesn't need to cheat. The dude was literally 3 times the size of fucking Chavez. Well, I don't know why I mean, I don't know anything about boxing, right? So me and my friend were watching, we were confused why Chavez was heavy fucking weight. I mean, if people know more about boxing and want to educate us on it, then by all means. We don't know how, because obviously we don't know how heavyweight works apparently. But yeah, no, it just wasn't believable that Chavez deserved to be heavyweight, whereas Damian Anderson, it was a lot more believable. So when they're duking it out in the ring for the heavyweight belt, right? Why the fuck does Anderson has to cheat? He doesn't need to cheat. What the fuck? But overall, I still enjoyed that sequence, right? And even if I was to suspend my disbelief, let's say he's more of a jacked dude, right? Let's say Chavez was a jacked dude, about the same size, whatever. That scene still added a lot of urgency to the overall story and plot, which is still fun, which is fine, right? And it's still good. It's still good. I like this movie. I would say this definitely has one of the better, training montages in the entire franchise, including the Rocky movies. I take that statement fucking back. it's good, just not as good as Creed 2. I think Creed 2 has the best train. I literally, when I'm running on the treadmill every morning, right, during my gym sessions, I often watch the Creed 2 training montage. It's just that good. But my early access story behind Creed 3, right? I had a early preview. Okay, hold on. I should probably backtrack on the story a little bit. So every time I saw a trailer for Creed 3, by the way, I was kind of alienated with the Rocky franchise. I saw a Creed 3 trailer. For some reason, that just piqued my interest for some reason, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to binge the entire franchise. So it was Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Creed 1, Creed 2. Fucking loved it. Fell in love with the franchise. Even though a lot of the movies were kind of stupid. Creed was a very needed reboot. But as I was saying, Rocky 6. I forgot Rocky 6 existed. I didn't like that movie. Apparently, I hear a lot of people like it. They say it was a good send-off. I guess it was good. If I were to ignore the Creed franchise, I guess it was a solid send-off. But no, Creed 2 had a better send-off. But anyways, as I was saying though, yeah. So I was really excited for Creed 3, right? That's the point I'm trying to say. I was really excited for Creed 3. I had to watch it. And I found out my AMC had an early premiere of it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to go to the early premiere. So for a little more context, at the time I was working late nights. So I would wake up the evening the next day. So I woke up late. I woke up directly at 7 o'clock, which was the early premiere for Creed 3 was happening. And basically I missed it, basically. I drove to the theater, can't check in anymore. That's it. I'm like, fuck. I went back to my car. I'm like, oh shit, I need to see this movie tonight. So I was desperately looking for another early premiere. Lo and behold, thank God, Cinemark, which is usually my main theater anyways, right? Had a 9:40 showtime for Creed 3 early premiere. I'm like, thank God. So I booked it, got the early premiere, fell in love with this movie. I saw it 5 times. I saw it 5 times this year. And I could recount all 5 times. First time was by myself, which was the early premiere. Second time was with my friend Tim. Third time was with 2 other co-workers. Fourth time was a Discord screen share for another co-worker that wanted to see this movie. Fifth time was when I was cleaning the Airbnb while I was in New York. Love this movie. I kind of want to watch it right now. It's probably my background movie. I normally don't like putting movies in the background for some reason as background noise. I don't know why. I just don't. But I could probably do it with Creed 3. Anyways, the creator. This is a very sentimental movie to me. Not sentimental, but it's an important movie to me. But could have been better. The writing, again, where do I begin? The movie visually looks fantastic, right? It is fantastic. Some little choppy editing, though. Some little choppy visual effects here and there. But for what it was given, was very good. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. Because so a lot of people were saying, oh, Godzilla shames Hollywood with his visual effects. And I agree. The creator, kind of the same thing, right? Kind of the same thing. Because it was shot on the FX3. Now, for people that knows cameras like me, right? Or modern day cameras. Sony FX3, how do I describe it? Is more of a videographer camera than it is a cinematography camera, right? I think it has barely been Netflix approved relatively recently as well. This is the FX3. I want one. Do I need one? No, I don't need one. I don't shoot videos. I'm more of a photographer guy than I am a videographer guy. But what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily filmmaking approved. Necessarily, this is technically consumer. Yes, I know this is a pretty hefty price tag, but in the filmmaking world, quote unquote, this is considered consumer level. But even then, it's considered more of a videographer camera that you'd see, you know, YouTubers use to make their videos look cinematic, right? But basically, this ideally, quote unquote, according to Hollywood standards, it doesn't meet Hollywood standards for Hollywood movies. But that's what this movie was shot on, the FX3. And I think the lens they used was Mercury Atlas. I forgot what the lens was called. Atlas Mercury. Oh yeah, Atlas lens. Yes. And I think I was doing some digging, and these were the lenses they used for the movie as well. These anamorphic lenses. And you know, the reason it's so important is because it gives a lot of hope for a lot of aspiring filmmakers like me, for example. It gives us a lot of hope that, yeah, we don't need crazy Hollywood fucking budgets to make spectacles like the creator, right? And the same thing with Godzilla Minus One. Like, it has a sense of scale. When you could make me feel a specific sense of scale, I think you, as a visual director, you did your job. And that's what Gareth Edwards is all about. Gareth Edwards also directed Godzilla 2014. I also felt the scale of that movie. From what I remember, the writing, Gareth Edwards, not a good writer. Not a good writer. I don't like Rogue One either. I also don't think Rogue One is visually pleasing either. Other than that one scene where things were just crumbling, like that was like Gareth Edwards, sense of scale as a director, as a visual director. But I haven't fucking seen Rogue One in forever, so my memory is a little foggy. But but why is it only down here? It's because, other than some choppy and sloppy visual effects, here and there, it's not that bad. Here and there, it's still a visually great movie. Also, if you know Sony cameras like me, right? I have a Sony A7 IV as my main workhorse. I'm a photographer though. I'm on the photography side of things though. Let me take a drink of water. That's good. Yeah, no. But like I said, being on the photographer side, Sony tends to have the colors they have like more of a soft, desaturated look, which I like. Me personally, I like, right? And generally, that's kind of important, especially when you're in Lightroom color grading, right? Like, it gives more range of colors when you're editing. But you definitely, if you know cameras like me, you definitely notice the Sony soft look done cinematic. That's basically what this movie is, the creator. And I liked it. The writing, though, pretty dog shit. It's pretty fucking dog shit. I don't know. Some of the writing just felt very sloppy and just kind of dumb here and there. It's not terrible, but it's pretty bad still. And I do like some of the overarching themes they try to explore. It's pretty solid, right? Like what makes a human, blah blah blah. That typical. I do. There's this one praise this movie's receiving that it's original, and I highly fucking disagree. I disagree. It's not original. It borrows all. I mean, it's okay to borrow from other people, right? It's perfectly fine. I don't give a fuck what people say. It borrowed a lot of elements from Star Wars. It borrowed elements from iRobot. It borrowed elements of the overarching theme of what makes a human that's commonly used in cyberpunk sci-fi settings. I think did I say iRobot yet? Because there's some iRobot references as well. But yeah, that's the thing with this movie, right? I love the creator. Emotionally, it's up here. But this time, my mind feels a lot stronger than my emotions. So it goes here. But yeah, no, the writing was just, I don't know. I just really did not like the writing in this movie. I was very visually pleased with the movie. I don't plan on, if I were, as a filmmaker, I don't, plan on making big blockbusters like the creator, right? I'm more in line with Radical, Past Lives, Champions, The Holdovers, even Air. I'm more, as a filmmaker, I see myself here, there. Some of the screenplays I have in mind, right, are within the same area of that. So this gives me, so the fact that so even though this was with the FX3, being accomplished, this gives me a lot of fucking confidence. But writing fucking matters. Writing. But other than that, the movie's good. Anyways, this went a lot longer than I expected. I was looking at this list. I'm like, oh, that's not a lot of movies. I didn't see a lot of movies this year. Yeah, I generally looked at it. I'm like, wow, I didn't see a lot of movies this year. And I wish I did. I'm trying to remember what movies I did get to see. I know Poor Things. I want to see Poor Things. I didn't get around to it. I'm gonna my Cinemark app. I'm a Cinemark Platinum member. Wonka. I didn't get to see Wonka. I didn't get to see Migration. I didn't get to see Zone of Interest. Oh, Barbie had a re-release? Ah, shit. Barbie had a re-release. Fuck. I know Oppenheimer sure did. Fuck it. Everybody's going crazy for Oppenheimer. It's Saturday. You know what? I just might go see it again tonight. Why not? I might just go see it again tonight. It's a good movie. I might go see it again tonight. Yeah. Killer of the Flower Moon. Okay, stay with the Killer of the Flower Moon. It looks really fucking generic. I almost don't want to see it. Anatomy of a Fall. Not really. I don't really care about that. Ferrari. I actually kind of want to see Ferrari. Not gonna lie. Even though I'm a sucker for biopics, something about Ferrari I just don't care. I just don't care. Boys in the Boat, same thing. Boys in the Boat. I love me some biopics, but like something about that movie just doesn't scream right. Doesn't seem right. The Hunger Games. I didn't get to see Hunger Games. I wanted to see Hunger Games. I wanted to see Wish, believe it or not. I wanted to see Wish. I don't give a fuck what people say. I wanted to see Wish, and I want to see Trolls Band Together. I don't give a fuck what people say. I want to see these movies. Napoleon, I also wanted to see. Wow, that's a lot of movies I didn't get to see either. Holy shit. But yeah, I guess I'll see you on next year when I do this again. And I am way fucking behind already. It's already, January's about to be over. And I haven't seen anything from 2024 yet. The Beekeeper, fuck that. I don't give a shit about Beekeeper enough. The Beekeeper enough to really go see it. But I'm probably going to see it. The Book of Clarence. I actually kind of want to see that. ISS, that looks kind of stupid, not gonna lie. Mean Girls does not look like a good reboot, but I'll go see it anyways. Yeah, I already know most people aren't gonna agree with this list, but I don't give a fuck. But this is how I feel. And I'm pretty happy with this list. I'm also a little scared how many movies ended up in here. Yeah, that kind of scares me. But I'm just glad Shazam 2 it doesn't get doesn't get worse than Shazam 2. That's all I'm fucking happy about. But yeah, I'm low key looking for an excuse to prolong this. Oh, I didn't really talk about Guardians much. Yeah, but at the same time, it's not really much for me to talk about Guardians either. It's just very emotional. I enjoyed it. It's good. Low key, the MCU should just end here. But whatever. Anyways, yeah, everything has to come to an end. But yeah, that's it. That's my movie. That's my movie tier list ranking. Good nights. I guess I'll see y'all for 2024.